Hello everyone, Empire Baron here. Thank you for joining me. I have for you finally some footage from the Crete booster pack. The quest will be the Elite Meet in Crete, and we will be following Remember This 123. A big shout out to him for uploading this footage to me and allowing me to do it and participating in this booster pack with Bubble. And Bubble will be in the Egyptian civilization, and he will be the co-op player. So we will see the strategy they use and implement into this game. This is, as I said, the hardest quest that there is in this booster pack. So we will see how they handle it and what units they decide to go with and the timings they implement, and all of this stuff is important to pay attention to when you're playing it yourself. These are two really high level players. They play the game a lot. They're pretty geared up. So that's something that is important in this, because as I hear, the gear on the computer player is very strong, and that will play out into the strategy that they put into here. And we will see now the two barracks go down, and you see their economy. They're going quick. He's going quick for those storehouses, very important. And two barracks, he's going to pump out some hypas here. So we're no doubt we'll see very shortly, about a minute, what units the computer starts to throw out at them, and you'll see the speed on that counter goes a little bit faster than normal. I had sped up this video 2 times so that it's easier to watch. It is about an hour-long quest, and this way you get to see the quest in its entirety. The very end is important, because the very end is, I hear, quite an amount of units that gets thrown out by the computer player. So we will see now how they prepare their city to cope with that, and what kind of units, as I said, in those tier 4 units, when they get down to that age, what they put into it. We're seeing now finally spearmen come down. So we're going to see some spearmen for the computer first, and they are going to counter that with those hypas very well, and no units from Bubble yet. So what it appears is Bubble is going to try to get to that next stage as soon as he can, and rely on Remember This to hold back with these 2 barracks. So 2 barracks pumping out enough hypas, consistent pump out of hypas, to deal with this first push. And those spearmen aren't very good against infantry at all, so they are going to get taken right down. And now we will see enemies cleared, first wave done. So pretty painless. Now we see, as we move through, a couple more units come right out of the gate. So once that first wave finishes, more come out, and Remember This is going to go outside of the gate and start to clean them up the best he can, as quick as he can. No doubt these waves are going to get bigger, more intense, and we shall see how they go to counter. A quick market goes down. So that is a good strategy. Don't have to worry quite as much about gold mining, and then you can get to that quick market. It looks like there is some gold and some stone that he is going to actually cut that wood to get to. So that's a good strategy. Try to get into that gold and stone mine. You want to cut through the trees, and then your units, your villagers, won't have to travel all the way around to get there. So he's going to switch straight from those berries to farms. He's going very heavy on the wood so that he can do that switch, and then still be able to pump out the units or the buildings and houses and keep up with all of that stuff. These waves look harmless. Remember This is a top tier player, and same with Bubble is a top tier player, so I'm sure they have a strategy going into this. You see he's just about to break through that mine, and we still have no units from Bubble, so no doubt Bubble is getting to that next age and is going to come out with some sort of 3rd or 4th age unit, and we'll see what that is. Excuse me. So we see farms now more, and now some more units coming in, quite a bit more, forcing Remember This to pull back. Holopolis coming in, so finally we're going to see some siege come in, and that siege is going to take down this wall. Those infantry are sweeping down the south side past that choke point, and let's see where they end up at. Some chariot archers come in for Bubble, so that's a sign of where he's at, and he is going to start adding now finally some units to this. We're seeing those infantry for the enemies sweep around to the south, but I don't know if there's a choke point down that way. And we see also some priests on the high ground. So that is something that you have to pay attention to. Those priests will, all of a sudden, 4 priests in your entire army could almost be completely converted. And that is a dangerous thing at this stage of the game. Now they're getting a surround on those Holopolis. So it's important to retreat back to this middle part of the map until you can get a surround on those Holopolis out of the way of those priests and the high ground. Now we're seeing more units kind of pour in, and the priests are now on the low ground, and their archers, chariot archers, are making quick work of them. And that was that, just about. A couple more houses go down, and now back to his Hypas, who are sitting back at the field, ready and waiting for these Toxotes to come in. Now Toxotes come in, so it seems to be not very organized forces from the computer, just masses of one type of unit. Let's see. And we have some archers of now some elephant archers. That's something I would like to see soon. Hopefully they'll be correcting some of those things. Put some, infantry into these attacks so that there's some tanks and there's an actual real push going on by the computer. If they make it all Toxotes, then you rush to the front of the line of the Toxotes, and now this is what happens, where here we go. Now elephant archers are all that's left, and there it goes. So those elephant archers got singled out really quickly, and now it's cleared. Some Padromos come out, and he is just about ready to age up here. Well, he's pumping out some Padromos here, and now he's got not much food, and here he goes. So he's canceling out some things. And that food is going to jump up pretty quick here. And I'm no doubt going to get to that next age pretty shortly. Lots of caravans coming in. And he's spreading out with a lot of these stables going down. You'll see his resources tab is very high. Very good to focus down on that, especially in the early part of the game. It allows you just to freely macro later in the game. And there they go. Enemies cleared again. So now they're leapfrogging each other. You see, he just started that age upgrade. But they leapfrog each other, aging up. So, very good strategy. As I said, teamwork is a very big part of this game, this aspect, especially in this quest. And he started out in that second age. He put the defense on. Bubble got to the next age. Now he was able to lay off a little bit, allow Bubble to hold on the lines. Now he can get up to that 4th age. And he's building a fortress on the high ground, which will help deal with a lot of this pressure that's coming on. Fortresses, especially when they're geared up, do a lot of damage. And if you can just fall back to that fortress, the computer will follow you and allow you just to rain fire down on them, and then they'll fall so quick. Now we're seeing the Hippicans are going to start to pour in. We see 5 stables now and 6 stables. He's building another one. Now Ceres are mainly the way that they're going. So I'm not sure if the computer is adjusting to the chariot archers or if that's just at this stage what is meant to come out. And that's interesting. Try to, maybe if you have, put that in the comments. See if they're actually adjusting to you, do you think? Or if it's something where they are just programmed to come out as this stage, you get this unit, this stage, you get this unit. Because now we see mainly chariot archers on the field with some Padromos mixed in there, and then some Hippicans are tossed in for the majority. Now, remember, this is going to go mainly Hippicans, still trying to keep his economy booming with villagers. And now we're seeing, I believe those are Hetoroi come in with lots of siege, catapults, and all of the like. Epiced out, so great. And more stables are going to go down back home now as he realizes this is a rather large force here by the computer. But just once again, so one-sided, just massing out one type of unit. We see a couple elephants thrown in there now for Bubble and for the computer right around the same time. And now it looks, though, like the computer was able to handle that and is going to put on a push here further up this choke point. Here they come. Elephants leading the fray. And it looks like spearmen pushing through the back. Spearmen are a good counter for the computer against, remember, this is forces. And look at the rocks just getting tossed down on those Hippicans, but they are able to handle that punishment quite well and are breaking through that line, and they are just cleaning up. A couple Hippicans just can deal with so many of those stone throwers, and he can just pump out those Hippicans so fast now that his economy is such a boom. We see those some hypas now and some Holopolis are in there, but those hypas for the computer look like they're just standing still. And that's one of the things people have been saying about the kind of unintelligent AIs, and I just saw those units standing still for quite a long time, something that they need to look at in these upcoming patches. But we see it looks like that bubble end. Remember, this is forces are going to team up together and beat down this wave. And this is so interesting to see Egyptian and Greek working together in harmony. I haven't seen it yet. A couple people have been asking me for PvP from the 2v2 perspective, and I really hope that I can get some up for you soon. I've seen a couple ranked matches happen, and anybody out there listening, I would love to do it. If you want to frap your perspective of that 2v2 map, I would love to do it, and it'll be really interesting. Maybe someone out there will want to do a GVE, a Greek and Egyptian, a G and E versus G and E, and we can see them work together, and we'll see how that plays out. Hopefully people will come to that and send me something. So we're seeing now another force come right in for the computer. Wave, I can't really read, sorry, the quality. As I said, no observer mode, so we get what the players send us, and we will go from there. So more fortresses go down along that choke point, just trying to make an alleyway of fortresses. And now he's going to push these Hippicans up and split them in half. So he's got max population of Hippicans, and now it's just a matter of keeping all of those choke points covered. It looks like he is going to have, in the north, a lot of maybe bandits coming in. So all sorts of units, some hoplites coming in, I mean some Holopolis coming in as well. So kind of a delayed thing there. So they are working on ways to try to reform those forces. As you saw in that spawn, infantry came in first. It was meant that the infantry move up the map, and then the Holopolis come in behind them. And so that they do have some intelligence, you know, and we'll see. Hopefully it'll get better and better as this game gets patched up and cleaned up, and hopefully the players stick around for that, and everybody keeps watching the videos. I'm going to have a patch review hopefully for the next patch and let you know my thoughts on it, and we can have some great discussions and help the community out any way we can, because we all want it to work. You know, especially if you're watching this game, you must really love it. And I really love it too. I'm falling in love with the graphics. I just really hope they take our advice and listen to what we want into the game, because then I believe it will be a success. And that's enough about that. Anyway, so lots of farms, lots of stables. Look at the stables. Gonna just spam out stables. Those Hippicans are so strong, and that's what he's seeing. In the PvP, you might see more Prodromos come in there, especially we saw that maybe in the finals with Braden, and this is a little bit different with PvE when you're going for just brunt force, and you have lots of, you see here, just spawn points you're trying to cover. It's important to try to cover those and stay on them, because then you can keep their forces separate. Did you see how quickly those Holopolis got surrounded by those Hippicans and just slaughtered? And this is something that Microsoft needs to take note of, and Gas Power Games needs to take note of, that this game, this quest is beatable like this, getting to this spawn point and just waiting. And I don't know what they can do about it, but it seems like it's really dismembering a lot of the organization of the attacks, and that's what's enabling them to just mount up so many resources, where now you see he is just expanding his economy so much, trying to just mass out those resources. I mean, look at the resources. I'm talking over 10,000 of almost every resource, and the only reason it's not that much of stone and wood is because he is just building fortress after fortress all up and down this channelway. Now we're seeing him just expand out further and further. So important to keep those storehouses close to the wood. The longer that the villager has to travel, the less wood that you'll get per second, and that's how you have to look at it. And now we see some citadels also going down, so that Bubble is able to pump out these elephants so fast. He's mixing in, it seems like, elephants and chariot archers, and he might just go straight elephants, because they are just so much health that you could just sit there and tank on anything for so long. And when one of them dies or two of them dies, you can replenish them so quickly, especially if you have a supply of citadels like you can get in this kind of map. These players both seem to just be macroing out their economies. It's proving how strong it is, how important it is to get your economy just flourishing. It's just like the real world. The bigger the country of the economy, the bigger the military of the economy, the bigger the power of the economy. And that's all of the game. That's what this game especially strives for. There's not quite as much micro in a game like Age of Empires. There is still some, especially when you get to units in the Third Age, like with the Egyptians. You have chariot archers, and you can do a little bit of a hit-and-go strategy. But because there's no skill sets, as in a game like StarCraft, the microing of your actual clicks isn't quite as important as just brute force. We see another spawning of those forces just getting completely surrounded by Hippicans, and he just switches that rally point back and forth. More stables, more stables, more stables. Pretty incredible to see this city grow. I mean, this is the epic defense that they were looking for when they built this booster pack. And let's see now, as we get into this later game, how these units continue to handle this pressure, and how they start to, maybe they might have to fall back to the safety of these fortresses and citadels that they're building. Right now, I'm sure they're not building them for nothing, and I'm sure this isn't the first time both these players have played it at this level before they failed. Because now we're seeing quite a bit of elephants coming in with infantry units, handling the northern fleet of Hippicans, and Bubble has to bring in his elephants to help clean up. And a fortress gets destroyed, but we also have lots of priests coming in for, maybe those priests are from, yes, those priests are from Remember This, who is, that's a good strategy to use at this stage. Healing, as well as the bonus of conversion rate. And we will see now more and more stables go down. So pretty great stuff here. And those, look at the epic stone throwers there, and just getting surrounded and destroyed, dismembered before they even get 1 or 2 kills. I can't imagine any of those got a kill. And we are just going to see more and more of this for a little bit here until these get to be harder. Seeing a couple rogue infantry units come in are going to get handled up real quick. Look at those priestesses. I don't know what priestess that is, but they are doing quite a dance with that scepter above their head, spinning it around. I have never seen a priest do that in my life, but it's pretty great. Anyways, we have lots of farms. Got a quick look at Bubbles base. Similar thing going on over there in the Egyptian side of things. That the armory, he really didn't upgrade too much of the other upgrades, because he's pretty much going Hippican, Hippican, and Hippican. And it is the strongest unit that the Greek has. It's a really good all-around unit. Since these forces from the computer are mixed up quite a bit, that means that it is a good all-around unit. It's like the hoplite of the Third Age, but they are also really great against siege because of that heavy armor. We're seeing priests get a little bit closer here, and he is going to try to build a little wall. And there it goes, a wall. But oh, well, a side of it gets taken down instantly by one shot of that catapult right there. And now he's trying to get those units to stay put, but they won't stay put. They keep leaving. So frustrating. Go in the wall. He doesn't want to. No, I don't want to go to jail. Alright, so he's going to get this wall up, and let's see if this does him any good. A little interesting way to keep your priests alive, and maybe distract the enemy siege a little bit. I don't know, but I'm sure those priests don't like it very much. More stables going down, just so many stables. That is, he is just able to macro out, because I mean, you look at his economy, he has almost 50,000 food. I mean, it is sick. There's too much food there. There's so much food, and now he is just getting more and more. I can't read how many villagers he has, but I can only imagine. Look at the economy. He's almost cleared out all of that wood line, and now he's going to go out here and he's going to destroy some town centers, some storehouses. Maybe he's going to make room for something else. He's building even more deeper walls, so he's going to really try to wall them in here, just lock them into place, building a little jail for those priests. and those toxotes are going to get surrounded, as well as these catapults to the north. And look at all the priestesses there for Bubble, who are just spinning their scepter around, and so fast those toxotes get just surrounded by these units. And now let's see from here, these waves, I'm sure very shortly will get quite a bit harder, and let's see now how this works out for them. We see, all right, so he's going to destroy these storehouses and stables. Is he going to fill this whole thing up with stables? No way. He is just going to build stables until he can't build any more stables. He cleared out an entire forest, mined all of the mined. I mean, he is just going to completely build over this. Talk about city building. Deforestation. I mean, remember, this is committing economical crime. Or environmental crime. Just wiping out a forest, building stables, military, and now we are just seeing stables for these hippikins over and over, just hippikins, and he is going to be able to get population limit, I believe, in one click of the mouse with all of these stables. I mean, it is laughable how many stables he is putting into this equation here. And more stables, that has got to be his goal. I'm not even going to try to count how many stables he has. Maybe in a minute we'll see. He's got to have them all in one hotkey. But I don't know. We'll see if it's necessary. We're getting a little bit further on in this game here, so very shortly we're going to start to see quite a big amount of push. And now he's going to, one by one, destroy all of this wall. So if you're wondering, is it worth it to build a wall around my priestesses, my priests, and is that good? That's not good. Don't do that. That's not really what you want to try to do. So that didn't work out for him. He ended up having to waste some APM deleting that. So many. I think that's in the 62 stables. So 62 times 3, he can, in one button, get 186 population. He builds a couple more, and he will be at the max population in one click if he deletes all his villagers. And maybe that's what he's trying to do. Maybe he's going to hit a point where he is going to cancel and kill all of his caravans, all of his villagers. He has stockpiled up enough surplus of resources, and he can get out a max population of hippikins and just be able to handle anything that comes through these spawn points. Now we're seeing they killed off the north amount, but so fast he's going to be able to replenish these. And a couple got through the ranks. Bubble had to move to the north to protect, and a couple got through, but the enemies got cleared out right away. And now we are on back to the stable fest. He's going to move some more units to get some more wood, a little bit more environmental damage, kill some of these catapults that are coming in. They are forced into this environmental damage because of the onslaught. I mean, there's so many epic units just coming on and on and on, and this is a really exciting pack to do. I would only imagine the stress that these players must be going through trying to focus down all of these things. And now it's going to start to get to be a matter of just managing these units, making sure they're going to the right locations, making sure that he doesn't get too jammed up. He has to be careful that he doesn't block off too much. And oh, look at all those elephants coming in from the north and the south. Elephants and cavalry and ballistas pouring through. Look at all of the troops coming in. Bubble is going to have to help relieve here a little bit. And they have still a nice surround going on. If you need to focus down on that siege, because that will do such good splash damage against those hippikins when they're bunched up like that. And these elephants are able to tank so well, but it looks like they're able to hold that one off. We must be getting down to the thick of things now, because this is getting pretty exciting stuff. Those hippikins made it through pretty good. You see there's a little, you can barely see it, but there's that little plus sign, green plus sign shooting up around all of the units. That, I believe, is the Star Tech one where you get a +2 automatically in these games where you have to sit around a little bit. It's worth it to do. Now we're seeing lots of ballistas, just a mass amount of ballistas come in from the computer. And we're seeing also some pretty epic peltis come in. I believe that's what that was. And we will see how this handles it. They handled the southern one good, then they kind of wait and they time out their attacks, so they both attack at the same time. Look at the flood of hippikins coming in from, remember this, from the south. Look at the size of that field filled with those stables, and They're sweeping in from the north, though, and they're breaking down that first fortress. And now we are seeing a mountain, I mean, a huge mound of priestesses come in for Bubble. Just look at them spinning those things, and they got picked off pretty good. And that one round of fire, and they take some huge damage, but they can convert some really large amounts of ground. And now we're seeing so much is going on everywhere. It is such a hard point now we're at. We are just seeing so many ballistas make quick work of these Hippicans, I must say. And thank God he built 60 stables. It seems like it's pretty necessary to go that crazy. It seems a little bit all out, but look, Bubble is forced to take some villagers off of the line so that he can save his houses, because some of these ballistas have snuck through the back and have made their way to the north of Bubble's base. Now we're seeing some more Hippicans come in from the south. Constant flow of Hippicans. Finally, some camel riders come in to take out those ballistas, and now they are just trying to focus down on these. He's going to be forced to delete a couple of these stables. As I said, they got a little bit log jammed down there, and they get a little bit confused. They can't travel through the buildings, and so now we are seeing still so many units for the computer player. It seems that there is an overwhelming amount of forces, and look at them just march their way in. And both of these players now are just focusing so hard. He's tributing a little bit of gold, I believe, to Bubble. And now his gold is getting down a little bit. He's below 10,000. I guess you could say that's a little bit low for what he was at in the past. And now we're seeing these units make their way up. And he is going to build a wall down back behind, in front of this wonder which he needs to protect. And let's see how they hold this force off. Bubble needs to get some units down here, and here comes some more units. They're going to gather up here in the middle, and look at the force that is there gathering for both sides. This is true defense of Crete. Really exciting, really hard. We got to be getting down to the nitty-gritty now as these units are starting to stack up for the red computer player, and now we are going to see Hippicans cut off a little bit from the south, and they're going to have to sweep down and maybe do a little bit of a pincer move here. But we are seeing so many stables, and here they come. Bubble is pulling these units forward with his elephants, and now we are going to see these Hippicans sweep across, and they are going to really target fire down these ballistas, trying to pincer these units. More ballistas in the east for the computer. Holy cow, what a game. This is really... it seems like it's really fun to watch, at least. I hope everybody's out there is enjoying it. I sure am. Maybe this will convince you to buy it. It seems like it's really, really hard. I mean, look at the amount of stables. It reminds me of the good old days with DM and AoE 1 when you just massed out so many buildings, whether it be Chosen Warriors or Archers, and you just do this similar kind of strategy and just macro, and really run towards just setting that rally point and focusing down on your economy. And now we're seeing finally they're making a little bit of leeway here, and they've pushed through this stressful situation that seemed like it was teeter-tottering on the edge of defeat. And there it goes. I think I saw 36 out of 40, so I think we might have 4 more waves here. Instantly, another wave comes on. Look at all of those elephant archers. Oh my goodness. Look at all the elephant archers coming in from all sides. Such a strong unit. If they are geared right like they are here for these computers, they are going to have to really work at getting them down. These Hippicans, though, are doing good damage. They did a surround there on the southern ones, and a whole nother group of them come up from the north. Bubble is going to have to split his forces off and help out on the north here, and they did a quick work. I am surprised. Quick work on those elephant archers, which I thought were really strong. There we go. Enemies cleared. And let's see now what the computer has in store for these last couple waves. And now we are seeing more ballistas still, and just so many ballistas. And now that, remember, this has taken back control of this spawn point, he is finally going to be able to get surrounds on these ballistas. And we will see now. I am sure we are going to see very shortly some pretty incredible pushes by the computer player. As we see, the Egyptian civilization is proven to be quite strong with these hoplites in this late game. If you see the points up to the left, top corner that Bubble doesn't have quite as many kills as Remember This has in this game, and they've both been at population limit most of the time, but because those Hippikins are so fast, they're able to transition from one kill to the next so fast, where these elephants are more tanks and building damage dealers, but they have so much HP, it's beneficial to have them on the field. Now we're just seeing them stay at these choke points, at these rally points, and they're holding on to these rally points, and he is just focusing down on keeping as many hoplites as the field as he can. And I can't see what they're saying, but they're communicating as best they can, trying to really find out how they can keep these spawn points covered the best way. And you see so many farms still going out, but most of them have no people on them because he has killed most of his villagers now in transition. Because he has some almost 50,000 food, he can transition over into a more military heavy design and use that population so that he can do damage. Because look at all of the forces now coming in. He is going to need every bit he can get. There is so many units that come out at a time, and you need to run from one to the next. They are doing such a good job keeping the enemy at bay, keeping them away from those fortresses, because very soon I'm sure we are going to see this final push, and I am anxious to see what the computer has left to throw at here. And he has just destroyed and killed all of those caravans, and he is going to pump out now more units. Current wave 40 of 40. Let's see what it is. Here we go, the last wave of this quest, and now they just need to hold through here, and they cleared the top, and now we are just seeing them finish off the remnants of it here. And let's see, enemies cleared. I'm not sure if that is it, and if we just witnessed how to beat this final quest. Let's see. Anything else gonna come out here? No population room left. Max population room all the way down to military units, full military units. They're searching to maybe there's a couple, one stray unit. There it is. The elite meet in Crete has completed. Look at the force. Look at the makeup of Bubble. Look at the makeup. Now everybody is aware of how to do it. Thanks everybody for watching. You see the really cool reward you get, and you get a lot of experience. You get a lot of treasure chests, 4 treasure chests, and or maybe you get to, no, you 4 treasure chests, and that is really awesome stuff. Nope, not 4 treasure chests, 1 treasure chest. Good. And he got a couple good things out of it. But thanks everybody for watching. Let me know what you thought of this. Hopefully real soon we'll be able to get some other cool vids up for you. And Empire Baron out.